Welcome to the Business of Therapy podcast, where we're ditching the blank slate mentality and giving therapists full permission to show up authentically online and chase their dream six-figure private practice. I'm your host, Kelly McKenna, licensed therapist, business coach, and content creator. I have made it my personal mission to help other therapists make a boatload of money and do it while working with clients they love and without sacrificing their work-life balance. I've been through the very same journey that you're on now. After ditching burnout, starting my own private practice, earning $250,000 my very first year, and scaling way beyond that, I'm here to give you all the behind the scenes. And in this podcast, I'm holding nothing back. You'll hear all the specific strategies, wins, failures, and lessons learned to help you build your very own six-figure private practice and see that the business of therapy can truly be a lucrative one. Let's do this! Before we get into today's episode, let's chat about our sponsor, Jane, the all-in-one practice management system I use in my own private practice. Jane has designed a secure payment solution that helps reduce the amount of time you spend manually following up with your clients about payment. Clients can save their financial information securely through your intake form to be processed after each session. Reminders can also be sent for any outstanding fees they might owe. To see how Jane can help your clients pay on time, head to the show notes to book a personalized demo. And when you're ready to get started, use the code Kelly2month for a 2-month grace period. Hello, my friends. So in today's episode, we are going to talk about the 3 things every therapist who's filled their caseload from Instagram has in common. Now, I feel pretty qualified to speak on the subject if I do say so myself. I've worked with over 1,000 therapists in the Private Practice Academy bundle, like 800 therapists active in the Reels membership. I am working with therapists to fill their caseload with Instagram day in and day out. And these are the 3 things that I've seen really have the biggest impact. It is not the number of followers that you have. Trust me, I have seen therapists with hundreds of thousands of followers and no clients from Instagram. It is truly not followers that matter. On the flip side, I've seen therapists with 1,000 followers and a full caseload of clients from Instagram specifically. What really, really matters is your ability to do these 3 things and to do them well. So number 1 is consistency. What I mean by staying consistent is posting frequently. If you are in a stage where you are actively trying to build your caseload, that means putting in intentional effort. You are in a growth season, and so Instagram is going to require more from you. What I really suggest in order to both get good at Instagram and also to get the best results and the fastest results is posting 5 to 7 times a week. Right? This is going to give you the opportunity to put the reps in to actually get better at showing up on Instagram. In the beginning, you may not be that good, right? Like your content may be kind of awkward. Your delivery may not be that strong. Your hooks might be kind of vague. You might not really understand exactly how to word things for your audience. But the more that you post, the more that you are going to get feedback from people in real time that is hopefully you're going to stop and sit with it and implement changes based on that, right? You're going to see what content did really well and understand what topics are working, what types of hooks are hitting for you, different ways of phrasing things that really resonate with people. And you're also going to see what flops, right? And maybe you try it again and see, okay, was it just like a fluke? Was there something with the way that I did this reel? Or if it continues to flop, that might tell you need to pivot and try a different language or try evoking a little more emotion or what have you. Right? So posting frequently allows you to put in the reps to actually get better and develop the skill of marketing yourself on Instagram, but it also gives you enough chances for something to pop off, right? If you are posting 2 or 3 times a week, there's not that many opportunities for content to go viral, for content to hit. If you are posting 5, 6, 7 times a week, you've doubled or tripled the amount of chances that you have. And when you do this, when you post consistently enough, that really makes your success inevitable, right? It doesn't mean that you need to even go viral to get success. I don't want to give you that impression here, but it gives you the chance to create enough pieces of content that something will do well, right? And that well might mean going viral. It might mean getting a lot of followers. It might be getting a lot of intro calls, but something will hit when you give yourself enough opportunities, right? And so I really want you to do whatever you need to do to make that easy for yourself to show up consistently. I'm going to do a shameless plug here. Maybe that's getting your ideas planned for you every single week inside of the Reels membership. Maybe it's batching content, right? So setting aside 1 hour, 2 hours to actually go ahead and film your content. Maybe it's getting ready every day so that way you can film your reel the day of and have nothing stopping you and pushing back and like getting in your way of posting content and showing up. Maybe it's repurposing ideas that did really well to make it easier for you to show up and you're not needing to create something new all the time. Whatever you need to do is up to you, but please, please, please stay consistent. This is really, really, really important for filling your caseload. And once your caseload is full, you can certainly bring that number down. You do not need to be in a growth stage forever. Once your caseload is full, if you're like, I'm not trying to scale right now, maybe then you go down to posting 2, 3, 4 times a week, right? Maybe then we're just worried about maintenance. Maybe then we're focused much more on stories and continuing to nurture your existing people rather than feeling this desire to always need to bring new people in. You have options. You don't need to be all in on Instagram forever. That's not a goal of yours. But when you are filling your caseload, that consistency is really, really key. Okay. The next thing that I see every therapist who's filled their caseload with clients from Instagram have in common is clear messaging, right? They have a clear niche. They are not speaking to everybody because you probably heard me say this 1,000 times, but if you speak to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. They have one audience and they are able to be specific. And I think this is really important because one, it's going to help you with follower growth, with nurturing people, with converting people, positioning you as an expert, which helps you command the private pay rates. But it also is going to help you create content that is specific enough to really resonate and to make people feel something. So I want to give you some examples of what that looks like because I know it can be a little hard to understand if you don't see it in practice. So I'm going to give you some examples of generic things that therapists might say who don't really have clear messaging versus something emotional, something specific, something really resonant. So generic, you're having trouble prioritizing your own needs. Emotional and specific, you can't pee without asking for permission, right? We are showing them what it looks like to have trouble prioritizing their own needs. Another example, generic, your body still shuts down during trauma. That's specific, right? We're speaking to a client with trauma, but we're not really saying anything that's going to make them feel something and say oh, that's so me. Instead, what if we said something emotional and specific, like you can't get out of your own head during sex, right? There we're showing what does this look like for somebody whose body is shutting down during trauma. Okay, generic, your anxiety makes it hard to relax. Again, we're niche down, but we're not making people feel something. Versus, you can't watch a movie without running through your to-do list. That makes people say, oh yeah, that's so me. I do that for sure, right? Generic, you feel disconnected from your partner. Emotional and specific, the only conversations you have are about schedules, groceries, and who's picking up the kids. Generic, you struggle to ask for help. Emotional and specific, you'd rather stay up until 2 a.m. finishing everything yourself than ask someone to take one thing off your plate. Do you guys see the difference here of the messaging, right? So it's not just the need to pick a niche, but it's also the need to go one click further in how we're describing what they're struggling with and being really specific with examples that will resonate and identify with people and evoke some emotion. If coming up with content ideas is the bane of your existence, I've got you. I want to make creating reels easier, faster, and way less mentally exhausting for you. I'm hosting a totally free 4-day Reels challenge, and I'd love for you to sign up and join me. We're kicking off with a live training starting Monday, July 13th, where I'm going to teach you exactly how to create your content in less than 15 minutes a day. Then, every morning of the challenge, I'll email you to tell you exactly what to post. Not just the idea, I'm talking a trending sound, fill-in-the-blank script, step-by-step filming instructions, and real examples to follow. I've made this as easy as humanly possible, so all you need to do is sign up, set aside 15 minutes a day, and let me handle the rest. Seriously, this challenge will show you how much easier content creation can feel when you're not starting from scratch every single time. The link to sign up is in the show notes. It's totally free, and we kick off live on July 13th. I'll see you there. So I want to give you another example, and I'll link this reel in the show notes for you, a therapist in the Reels membership. So this reel is from Verge. You can find her on Instagram at Prismatic Healing. And the reel that she said was, I'm going to let myself feel the grief when it comes up. And then this is a prompt for the Reels membership. You can watch it and it'll make more sense. It goes to black and white and it lists 4 things that she did instead that are kind of like against what was there in the hook of, I'm going to let myself feel the grief when it comes up. So the next thing she said was reorganize the entire kitchen instead of crying, intellectualize the grief so well their therapist was impressed, felt it in their heart and immediately started scrolling, stayed very, very busy so there was no space for feelings. This reel did so well. Like over 8,000 likes, truly incredible. And the reason why it did so well is because she was specific, because she evoked emotion, right? So I'm going to read you like a Bland version of this and I'll read you hers again, right? So Bland, what I see a lot of therapists doing who are not having clear messaging is they might say something like, it's okay to grieve when you lose a loved one. Versus she was specific, I'm going to let myself feel the grief when it comes up. Do you see the difference there? Bland avoids feelings, right? Versus reorganize the entire kitchen instead of crying. So we're able to, or what she really did here was describe what does it look like to avoid your feelings? How are they avoiding their feelings? So instead of just saying avoids feelings, she got way more specific, reorganize the entire kitchen instead of crying. Bland might say stays in her head. What Verge did was she said intellectualize the grief so well their therapist was impressed, right? So we kind of added a little humor in there. Bland might say feels deeply. Good. What Verge did here, felt it in their heart and immediately started scrolling. So she's kind of showing the feeling deeply and their response to it is again, that kind of like avoidance there. Bland might say distracts from the grief. What Verge said instead, stayed very, very busy so there was no space for feelings. That is really how you build a community who is engaged, who knows you, who likes you, who trusts you, and most importantly, who wants to work with you. Having that clear messaging, having that specificity. This is something I work with therapists on in our coaching calls inside of the VIP community for PPA all of the time, because it is so, so, so important to be able to go that one step more specific and to really show people that you understand them, not just by describing their symptoms in a vague way, but by showing what does this actually look like for them in practice in their life. Okay. The third thing that I see every therapist who fills their caseload from Instagram have in common is that they put in effort, right? Instagram can be easy. It is something that I love doing and it feels like honestly the funnest part of my job, but that doesn't mean that I can just like clock out and put no effort in, right? If you put no effort into something, you are not going to get exceptional results from it. And having a private pay practice is exceptional results, right? The norm would be to maybe be on like a BetterHelp or Talkspace type of thing, or maybe even a step up is to have a caseload full of clients from insurance. But to have a private pay therapy practice, you are like in that top tier of therapists in terms of success. And that is going to require effort in order to create that for yourself. And so it is really important to acknowledge that and to try, right? This means not just having AI write your content for you, but you actually sitting down and creating your content, whether that's with my prompts or from your own brain is totally fine, but sitting down and actually thinking about this yourself because you know your clients best. That is what you do all day, every day. You are talking with your clients. So trust that. Trust that you know better than AI and write your own content and really spend some time thinking about it. You can be you, right? Like you don't have to be overly performative in order to succeed on Instagram, but you should have a little pizzazz, right? We should not just be phoning it in. You should be a little spicy or be a little funny in your delivery, whatever is your style there. Maybe you want to be aesthetic in your filming if that's your vibe. Maybe you want to be really relatable and like a hot mess. Maybe you want to be analytic if that is like a strength of yours and look at the numbers and the data and tweak your ads and really like lean in that way. Maybe you love to like chat and yap and you want to be chatty in stories. Maybe you want to really provide helpful content to kind of think a little bit deeper of how can I really like serve people here with my Instagram. You don't need to do all of these things, right? But you should find one or two of them that you're like, oh yeah, like that's what I want to get good at on Instagram and develop the skill, right? Put in the effort. Really try to do your best with your content, right? And to become good at Instagram, experiment and figure out what works for you and put in that effort because when you do, you are going to get exceptional results and it is so, so, so worth it. I know for me, I would rather spend a few hours a week marketing myself on Instagram than needing to have 30 clients to make the same amount of money, right? Like that's crazy to me. And so instead, I would really encourage you, both are going to take time. You can either, see double or triple the amount of clients because you're earning way less, or you can spend a few hours a week learning marketing and putting effort in that way. The choice is yours. Okay, so to wrap up, the 3 most important things are consistency, clarity in your messaging, and effort, right? So find a framework that makes this easier. That's exactly why I created the Reels membership, is to do a lot of this work for you, right? To give you ideas that are fast, that are easy to create in a variety of content styles with a variety of purposes, to attract new followers, to nurture your audience, to convert them, to do the heavy lifting for you, to make it easier for you to, 1, stay consistent, and 2, have the time and energy and space to put in effort into your messaging, because you're not having to start from scratch, finding your trending sounds and thinking of your ideas and figuring out the best format to portray it in. All you need to do is think about, what is the text that I'm going to deliver here? What do my clients need to hear, right? Because that is the part that is going to have your heart in it, that is going to really have the biggest impact on your clients, right? So take the Reels membership if you'd like. Either way, put in the reps. Keep on doing this. If you continue to show up consistently, to try and to get specific in your messaging, your success is inevitable. I am rooting for you always, and I'll see you next week. Today's episode is brought to you by Alma. What if someone negotiated competitive rates with insurance on your behalf? What if you could take insurance while still building a private pay caseload? What if you always knew when and how much you'd be paid? It's all possible with Alma. Too often, therapists leave insurance due to low pay, paperwork, or unreliable payments, but Alma is changing that. Because Alma believes that when therapists get the support they need, mental health care gets better for everyone. Get private practice support at helloalma.com/Kelly. That's helloalma.com/Kelly to get started with your first 2 months free. Thanks for hanging out with me today. My goal with this podcast is to help as many therapists as possible. So if you found this episode helpful, would you please do me a huge favor and leave a 5-star review wherever you're listening to this? As a thank you, every month I'm gifting one lucky reviewer a free month of done-for-you Reels ideas inside of my Reels membership. I'll see you here next Wednesday and talk to you soon.